To remain in abundant good health is an art that is not known by most people. There are two aspects to this art: the physical methods and the divine methods. The physical ways of looking after the body machine are numerous. Countless books have been written on the subject. Still, that knowledge alone is of limited effectiveness in keeping this machine in perfect condition. We must also know how to apply the divine ways in order to keep ourselves well. The divine art of erasing age and creating vitality. Extracts from lectures by Paramahansa Yogananda in 1939 and 1943. The joy and vitality of youth are not related to one's physical age. God is ever youthful, and He is eternal. But in the general sense, we can say youth is with us until about the age of 30. After 40, the body machine begins to change. Its natural endowment of vitality and ability to restore itself starts to wane. You can choose to be either the body's doctor or its enemy. To the degree that you can avoid inflicting damage on your body machine, you can hope to preserve it much longer in a healthy condition. By the right physical, mental, and spiritual methods, much of the unwelcome effect of the body's aging can be erased. Cleansing the body from within. Health is easier to maintain if you know and practice the laws of keeping the body well, rather than starting the effort to heal yourself only after you have become sick. The Chinese tradition was to pay their doctors to keep them well, and if someone fell ill, the doctors had to pay the bill. You, too, should apply the wisdom in the adage. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. When you buy an old car, you want it to run like new. The best thing to do then is to get it thoroughly overhauled so that it is in good running order. You have to spend a little bit more money initially, but you can then expect it to run reliably for a long time. So it is with your body. Those whose physical vehicle has been weakened by age, perhaps their liver is out of order, or their kidneys or digestive organs, should know the way to overhaul that human machine thoroughly. The first step is to get rid of the poisons that have accumulated in the system. Fasting is an ideal method of accomplishing this. For example, 3 days on orange juice and ground almonds is a natural laxative. Repeat this after 1 month. If you spend the time and effort necessary to cleanse the body from within, you will quickly find the truth of what I am telling you about preserving youth. Most of you are dying of disease because of overeating day after day and eating the wrong foods. The less meat you eat, the better, especially after you turn 40, because it takes much energy to clean your own blood as well as what you ingest from the animals, which may carry many toxins or harmful chemicals. Meat has some good qualities, but it is better to eat meat substitutes. Meat takes too long to digest and pass through the body, and that undigested protein creates an acid condition in the body that is destructive to the kidneys. Many persons have kidney trouble and do not know it, yet the impaired functioning of these purifying filters inevitably hastens old age. Fruits and vegetables, including raw salads of lettuce and other greens, help to counteract harmful acid-forming foods, as well as aiding elimination. Make it a habit to eat more fruit. It is made for you by God. It is packed with energy and healing power. You will not have constipation, which is one of the worst enemies of health, and your body will not look haggard. Fresh fruits in the diet help to produce spirituality, even more than vegetables. An abundance of fruit will make your mind much more clear and calm. Watermelon, for example, is helpful for those who are cranky. More fruits and vegetables will get rid of whatever headaches and pains and cranky disposition come because of eating too much meat. Of course, these conditions may also be caused by other factors, but the point is to retain youthfulness and calmness in body and mind. You should eat those foods that lessen and remove the accumulation of toxins in the body. Another point is to change the type of meal you take at night. It is best to take the heavier meal at noon, not late in the day. In particular, drop the habit of eating much protein at night. Instead, have more fruits or light vegetable dishes for the evening meal. Healthy blood is necessary for optimum vitality. In Venice, I saw the canals that provide transportation and prosperity to the city's residents, and how all the refuse from the homes along their banks is dumped into them. So also the canals in our bodies carry blood plasma that brings nutrition to all the cells, as well as take away the waste products that are dumped by the cells into the bloodstream. Healthy red blood is of utmost importance in order to keep well, and plenty of exercise and fresh air. Many persons do not exercise at all. Working is not real exercise. Of course, any physical activity does some good and is better than a sedentary life. But if it doesn't use all the muscles, you are not truly exercising. Scientific exercise means working the entire muscular system that charges fresh blood into the blood vessels in all parts of the body. And as a result, it washes away poisons and gives life force laden oxygen and food to cells throughout the system. You do not know how wonderful are the energization exercises that some of you have learned here. By tensing and relaxing all of the body parts as taught in this system, you shut off and open little valves in the blood vessels and thereby direct a tremendous supply of oxygen through the blood to all of the major muscles and organs of the body in turn. The red blood corpuscles not only carry oxygen, but also life force, prana, to the cells. The energization exercises teach you to reinforce the flow of that life force by the conscious direction of the will. Every corpuscle is a tiny battery of life energy. That is what most people don't know. This is why when you lose blood, energy goes. Unless your body is strong, you should never give your blood. It is a mistake to do so. If you are weak, the loss of even 1 pint of blood may injure you in unexpected ways by lowering your body's overall life energy. If your body is strong, then it is all right to give blood. The blood is an amazing thing. It knows how to throw off anything it doesn't like, anything foreign to the health of the body. Being a vehicle of life force or prana, it carries the subtle intelligence innate in that creative energy. Some of the chemicals in medicines are not good for you, with the result that potent tonics are sometimes filtered out rather than absorbed by the blood. The blood takes in oxygen more readily than anything else. That is why proper breathing is so important to keep your blood charged with vitality. You receive more tonic from oxygen than from anything else, especially if you have good habits of proper breathing. Learn and practice this method. First, throw out the breath with a strong double exhalation. One short and one long breath. Then, inhale a double inhalation. One short and one long breath, filling the lungs as full as comfortable. Hold the air in the lungs for a few seconds, allowing the oxygen to be fully absorbed and converted into prana. Then repeat the double exhalation. Followed by the double inhalation. Practice this method in the fresh air 30 times in the morning and 30 times at night. It is very simple. You will be healthier than ever if you follow this. This exercise brings in a great deal of extra life force and also decarbonizes your blood, promoting calmness. Remember that. I want all of you to be healthy and well. Those who will use the practical knowledge you are getting here will find they have truly benefited. There are many of our Self-Realization Fellowship students who are aged 50 or more but look half their age because they follow these principles. The ultraviolet rays of the sun are also easily absorbed by your blood and recharge it with extra power and vitality. Try to take 10-minute sun baths at least twice a week. If you can do it every day, fine. But if not, take 5 minutes on the front and 5 minutes on the back twice a week. That is all you need. In my busy life, sometimes all I get is 10 minutes of sunlight. Practice with yogic concentration, as taught in the lessons. The energy absorbed lasts for at least 1 week. Eating bananas will help to increase the health of your red blood. They are one of the most beneficial of God's foods. Taking half an avocado daily with your meal will also greatly help in giving you the right nutrition. Your body will feel just as strong as if you had meat. and without creating meat's harmful acid condition. The foundation of divine healing is to live naturally. This is not just a physical method of healing, it is a divine method, because God wants you to depend on His creation more. To maintain health, you must use nature's laws. Because God wants you to depend on His creation more. To maintain health, you must use nature's laws. Sun, fresh air, pure water, fruits and vegetables. All these were given to you by God to keep well. Base your diet on natural foods that are easily assimilated by the life current in the blood. And remember to exercise and go on cleansing fasts periodically. I keep myself well because I never try to overload my body by overeating or wrong eating. And most of all, because of contact through meditation and Kriya yoga with the divine life. When I think of all the diseases that beset us in this world, there is so much to tell you that there is hardly enough time to give you other sermons. Every day, remind yourself how to keep well. Practice what I have taught you, and the body will remain healthy even when everybody else is getting sick. There is a harmony between the physical and divine methods of healing. My master, Swami Sri Yukteswar, was so balanced, and so was his guru, Lahiri Mahashaya. They never condemned anyone for seeking the help of physicians instead of relying solely on spiritual methods. Lahiri Mahashaya loved the doctors he knew, as did Master. And so have I attracted many doctors who follow these teachings. The doctor is trying by physical and psychological laws to help mankind, while the spiritual teacher is working by the laws of spirit. Both can be combined by knowledge of the underlying divine principle that works through material as well as spiritual forces in creation. Divine principle behind the human heart. With all the health foods you eat, you are still ultimately dependent upon the ticking of the heart. This little machine is much more wonderful than any made by man. It goes on and on working. A mechanical clock is wound each day, but the heart is wound once by God, and it goes on ticking throughout life. Every time it contracts, it produces enough pressure to push out the 1 ounce of blood. In one day, that little heart pumps 7 to 8 tons of blood, and you can well imagine how much it pumps over a lifetime of many years. Often, when I put my hand over the heart, I think how peculiar it is that everything in the body depends on that little ticking. When it stops, you have to go. We think we are keeping ourselves alive and well by food and oxygen, but no. It is the heart that keeps the body living. If your heart stops, no amount of chemicals can maintain conscious life in the body. What is that power which beats in the heart? The divine principle, the infinite life and mind. That is the secret. Mind is the secret power that produces any chemical that the body needs. Without that intelligence inherent in bodily prana, how could the cow, by eating only hay, obtain all the elements it needs to maintain its massive frame and great strength? While the doctors tell us various things to do to keep the body well, still, they don't know the mystery behind the physiology of the heart that keeps it ticking and circulating the blood through the system with its nutrients and life force. The heart is not only a pump. The heart is a seat of divine life. It is the seat of the universal mother principle. That principle manifests in the heart as love and compassion. When we love somebody, though the current comes from the brain, it centralizes in the heart. Every organ in the body is a counterpart or a vehicle of the infinite life and mind. The infinite presence of God, as manifested in man's body, is secreted in the subtle divine center of God consciousness in the brain. From there, it radiates its various qualities throughout the whole being through specialized functions in 6 subtle centers, subdynamos in the cerebrospinal axis. Every organ in the body, relative to the specialized functions in these divine centers, is thus an instrument or a conduit of the infinite life and mind of God. Behind the heart is the love principle of God, and behind the brain is the wisdom principle of God. Cultivating pure love and true wisdom greatly enlivens the heart and brain, physically as well as spiritually. And the harmonization of the love principle in the heart and the wisdom principle in the brain creates a magnetic force that draws healing energy into the whole body. If your heart is good and your brain is clear, you will attract unto yourself all the right ideas by which you can keep well. But most people are either too intellectual or too emotional. Either kind of imbalance is destructive, destroying the natural harmonious expression of the divine principle in man's being. If you cultivate heart as well as reason, you will always be well. The divine principle will be working throughout your bodily system. When love and reason are balanced, then the life in the body is balanced. The intellectual principle, when used to imbibe divine thoughts of truth and immortality, brings as much energy as the heart principle does. So if you are all heart and no reason, you are starving yourself. Likewise, if you have too much intellect and no heart, you have to balance reason and feeling. Then you draw from the divine source the proper amount of current necessary to keep all the cells in the body vibrant with life and health. With the calmness that comes from perfect balance between feeling and reason, you will enjoy tremendous vitality in your body. That vitality is the manifestation of the divine principle, the real source of health. When anyone comes to me with pains and aches, as soon as I touch them through that divine principle, the pains will leave. Many have thereby been convinced of the power of divine healing, pains can be taken away almost instantly. In one incident in Mysore, someone was complaining that he had a splitting headache. I felt the divine permission to free him from it. So when he came to me, I said to him, "Where is the headache?" "It is gone." And his suffering ceased in that moment. So remember, the balanced mind, the mind that is calm, is the heart of the divine principle. Meditation is the supreme way to create that inner calmness and balance. When you can hold on to that calmness, even after meditation, you will be able to feel the power of that divine principle always with you. And you will be able to direct it to persons who are sick, and they will be healed. I rely on no other principle but that divine principle, and its healing light flows steadily through my calmness. Most persons are opaque with restlessness. That is why they are always a sort of annoyance to other people. You should be a transparent jewel through which God can shine to others. Try it out. It is most wonderful to be balanced. And the only way to have this balance between feeling and reason is to have inner contact with the divine principle through meditation, and to control your emotions and not permit moods. Free yourself from them. My master gave me such excellent training in ironing out moods. So many people do not analyze themselves and take the steps to overcome their destructive emotions and moods. If you have devotion, every time you come to these services, you will receive twice as much. It is what is behind me that will change you. You are not joining an ordinary church. You are joining with the great masters. As you follow them and practice their teachings, you will receive the power to keep your body and mind well. And in time, you will be able to heal others of their worries. Isn't that much more important? Because worry and mental trouble create much disease. They help disease to stay in the body more than you can imagine. The holy man is the happy man and the healthy man. The cells of your body adopt the mood of your mind. When you are happy, all the cells of your body are relaxed and recharged with life. The cells put on the mood of your mind. Each cell has a mind. You are not alone in your body. If you are sad, all your cells are devitalized. Persistence in a negative mood devitalizes the whole body. By making yourself unhappy and succumbing to worries all the time, you can turn your hair gray and your eyes will be dimmed. Look at your life and health and see if this is not so. If every day you say to yourself, "The world is treating me badly," your face and whole body will begin to sag and droop. Instead, say, "Well, Lord, you know what it is all about. I am going to make the best of life. It may be a cloudy day, but I am going to enjoy it just as much as the sunshine." No matter what happens, say, "It is all right. I am happy within. God has given you the power to be a king of kings, to be happier than any rich man who ever lived. You can walk through life like a king or like a mental skunk who throws off the odor of unhappiness and gloom on everyone. Health and youthfulness depend on being happy within. As your body ages, so your mind, through bad habits, puts on the condition of the body and also begins to grow old. Why allow this? Your mind can remain young in spite of the body, and if you can make the mind youthful, the body will put on the same mood. Thoughts are marvelous. If you affirm a thought strongly enough, it will become real to you. Always think, in my mind, I am ever young. I am lasting youth, untouched by time. There is no reason for me to be otherwise, for I am spirit, I am mind, I am consciousness. Consciousness is ever young. I can be old now if I choose to be so, and I can be young in mind and heart. No matter what my body goes through, if I choose to be so. Lord, make me as happy as Thou art. Make me realize I am made in Thine image. Try affirming these thoughts for 6 months and see what happens. Everyone you come in contact with will be drawn to your magnetic aura of youthful vitality and happiness. Happiness is like the iceberg. 3/4 of it lies within, while 1/4 is revealed on the surface. Be happy within. Fill yourself with the abundance of joy that is deep within your heart. Meditate. The illumining presence of God has been obscured by the dark veils of ignorance and worry that you have thrown over yourself. Tear those veils away forever. Let the Spirit of God shine through you, through the transparency of healthful living, through the transparency of your smiles, through the transparency of your meditation-born peace. Let that divine light shine through you, driving away all dark shadows, and let that light shine through you to others, keeping them well and happy. Divine healing is not far away from you. God's healing light is always knocking at the gates of your mind. Do not clog the flow of life in your body with poisons from wrong foods, and don't create mental obstructions of worries. Keep yourself pure in mind, body, and soul, and the rays of His all-healing light shall be always there to keep you well, and will also touch whoever comes into your presence. Be an aurora of healing light. Excerpts from the book Solving the Mystery of Life by Paramahansa Yogananda.